Hey y'all, it's Jasmine J here back with another episode of CCGO. And I'm very excited to introduce you to Roger, but I'm going to let him introduce himself. So welcome to the show, Roger. How you doing?
I am doing well, Jasmine. Thank you for having me here.
No problem. So can you tell the people who you are, your brand, what you represent?
I do. I can.
Yeah.
My name is Roger Ramirez. I am the founder of R&R Studio, which is a live streaming studio in town that focuses on showcasing bands around the community so that bands that will normally not be heard can be heard, give them a voice. I also founded a production company, R&R Medical, which we focus on live streaming of surgeries, medical procedures, transplants, open heart surgery, orthopedic surgeries, and it's pretty intense at times. And then I am the founder also of a live streaming company called Portal. It's a live streaming platform that we live stream medical surgeries and concerts with.
That is absolutely amazing. I'm definitely stealing that line from one of our other hosts, Joelle, but that really is amazing that you do all that.
It.
So let's break that down a little bit, right? So how did you get in this particular industry?
All right, so it started, and I'm going to sum it up real quick. All of this has happened because my dad decided in Mexico City at the age of 42 that we were too poor to stay in Mexico, and he came illegally into this country. And, some people may like that. Some people may not like that. But, he worked hard. He was an honest immigrant. After 25 years, he got his citizenship.
Wow.
And it took a long time. So that's when we were growing up. Actually, how I got into the industry was necessity.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a job. I didn't have a social security number. Or if I did, I would get fired immediately because they do a background check. And so I became a musician, and technology was kind of like my best friend. I had a dream that I wanted one day to own a studio where like everybody could play music, see each other, hear each other. But it was just a dream at one point. But it's necessity, Jasmine, necessity.
Yes, I can definitely relate to that. So I think it's amazing to say that you had a dream to want a studio and all of these things. And now today you have those things. So can you talk to us about like what that process was like as far as how did you keep pushing forward to accomplish that goal? Even when it wasn't reality yet, like how did you stay bought into the vision?
Right. So the vision kept on going because of me wanting to live a normal life and just not being able to. And so that vision became a reality. And, I started studying music. I started focusing on practicing and my name kind of got out there little by little. Eventually, after going through like different jobs and different time periods in my life, where I was very immature, we do a lot of stupid stuff that kind of puts you down in reality and really gets you to focus.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of hard times that I had, and I think that having the support of my dad and my mom, to really push me into the right direction and hone me in, because they knew I was smart.
Yeah.
But they also knew I had no direction and I was just wasting my time. And my dad was like, you know what? Let's build a studio together and let's see what you can do with it. And so that was really the creation of R&R Studio. R&R Studio is like my dad's name, Raul Ramirez. It's my name, Roger Ramirez. And it's all the siblings, of our family. My dad has that tradition. And so it was easy to make that transition to music and start bands and try to put myself out there. But what really was the determining factor of like why I really took the R&R Studio to what it is today was the fact that I couldn't find gigs. It was my band had a hard time being in the scene with bands that had already been in the scene for a long time. And so I was really getting frustrated, and I was like, we're really good, but we don't have a way to play music. So I was like, wait, like nobody's tackling the online market. And like,
yeah, that dives right into the next question I was going to ask you. With R&R Studio and everything that you have accomplished and built with the, with the support of your family, what problem does R&R Studio solve for your clients?
Oh, that's a great question. So what we do for the community is we give them a voice. There's a lot of bands, and I relate everything to what I do to my ex life, because a long time ago, I wish that there had been a place that really supports the artist and gives them a space to where they can shine and present themselves. A lot of artists are starving musicians and they don't have money.
Yeah.
And like there is a lot of greedy people out there who have the means, who want to see you there. And so R&R Studio wants to reverse that equation. And really it really has worked and in much greater numbers than if I had trying to be a greedy person and then like, this is my studio and you have to pay, because then there would have been nothing.
Yes.
And so
we do that. We have that same type of mentality. Like for us, it's community first. You know, we're here to solve a problem. We're here to connect small business owners and creators to their communities through media and event production. That's our number one priority. Being greedy, it just doesn't work. It'll get you somewhere fast, but you're not gonna stay there. Right. So I really respect you for how the morals and values behind your company. So let me ask you a question. At what point did you say, okay, I'm on to something? Was there a specific moment where you realized like, oh, okay, this is exactly what I wanted it to be. We're headed in the right direction? Actually,
there was a turning point. A year into it, I was having this, whatever. I was having a 420 festival, and I invited a bunch of reggae bands that I knew, a bunch of artists to meet at my studio in the house and have a concert, right? And so this band invited a piano player that invited another friend that invited a photographer. That photographer knew a business owner in Galveston who was trying to open up a podcast studio, because podcast studios are awesome.
Hey.
And so his engineer had left. And so whenever that guy came to my studio, he saw the small space and was like, this is exactly what this guy wants to do. So that connection, a day later, I was sitting with my wife. I think we were kind of going through a hard time, to be honest. And like really struggling. And so, but look, we were struggling, but still we were trying to put music out there and
sticking to the vision.
Literally sticking to the vision. And I get a phone call like 2 days later from my now business partner. And he's like, hey man, I hear that you're doing something cool for the community. I would like to check it out. And I was like, okay. And what we talked about earlier, there's a lot of BS, a lot of people that have seen my studio and they're like, we're going to help you with this and that. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And nobody ever comes.
Exactly.
He showed up. And so I could immediately see that he was a good guy. And he was willing to kind of take my vision, but not just take my vision, but take it to the next level as like, in what use case scenarios could we take your live streaming and use it in different places? What about education? And so we started talking and immediately we hit it off. And right there with him is when I was like, man, like this guy really is interested in everything that I'm doing. And there had been a lot of musician interest that was cool. But I feel like this was the first time that the vision had impressed somebody that could really was honest and that could really connect me to or really guide me, because he really hasn't connected me to anything. He's been more of a mentor, to be honest. And I'm kind of like his mentee, and he's really that was the turning point, I think, where I saw the concept. It wasn't necessarily the videos. It was the concept, and more to him was the persistence, the story.
Yep.
Because I'm not just some dude that got given the space to work for. Like my family literally like jumped the fucking fence to get to this country, and now from hard work and good ethics, good morals, good work ethic. I mean, it really does pay off. It really does pay off to have a great upbringing of an honest upbringing. You can have a good upbringing, rich or poor.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't matter.
So let me ask you this. What is one thing that you know now that you wish you would have known when you first got started? Or is there one thing?
No, yeah, of course. Family.
Yeah.
Family, honestly. I think when I started R&R Studio, like I said, it was a necessity, but I think there was a little greediness in there as well of like I want to do this. And not with like, not that I wanted to shine and be anybody, but like as in my family. Like I felt like I neglected my family for a time, and just working on all this and investing. It's sacrifice. I don't want to say I neglected because that sounds so shitty, but I think there's a certain amount of sacrifice that has to be put in order for it to work. And maybe even though they don't complain, I think that's in the back of my head that I feel like maybe it was time wasted, but was it? It's just an internal battle where maybe people won't understand until they're in the situation. Like people just see what's happening now, but they don't see what it took to get there.
Exactly. I can even share an experience with you about that point. I am a mother of 3 children. So I'm a single woman. I'm not a single parent. Their dad is very active. But however, I'm building out the vision and doing what we're doing here at CCN, it does require sacrifice and it requires a lot of work and a lot of time. And sometimes, I talk to my dad about this all the time. I go back and forth and I'm like, is it really worth it? I'm not there. I'm missing football games. I'm missing this and that. But what I had to recognize was I'm doing my very best. And that's the best that I can do. So I try to show up at all the kids' events as much as I can, but I do know that there's a calling on my life to do something big with this. And I know how this is really going to affect and take care of them in the long run. So I'm 100% in agreement about family.
I think, so is it a regret? I mean, you can think of it either way. Some people would see what I'm trying to do a waste of time.
Right.
But some people see it as like, man, like keep
legacy.
Going for it. Exactly. Yeah. And so
it will only be a waste of time if you quit. If you quit now, then it was a waste of time.
And there is no quitting. I mean, like we're growing and we actually want to take things to the next level. I mean, there is no stopping. There is and here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm not just gonna bring anybody here, Jasmine. Just so you know, I'm with the concerts that we're gonna have here. I'm gonna bring people that have been loyal to our brand, that have performed in art, that have been through our brand.
Yes.
I will never bring somebody who just sees an opportunity and is like, oh, well, now let's talk to Roger. Look at what he's doing. Right. Like, I believe that there has to be, there's enough for everybody.
Yes, it is.
And I want to help the people that have been there when shit's been bad.
Absolutely.
Because those are the loyal people who are going to be there when things are bad. If they're going to be there when things are bad, then they're going to be there
when things are good. Absolutely.
And you don't want people that only are going to be there when things are good. And so I think that doing something like this for Houston, it's
a game changer.
It's a game changer. It's going to be a game changer.
So that takes us right into what I wanted to kind of finish off the interview with is, it's 2024. What are some of the goals that you have for your company? How did you even meet CCN? What's been your experience with CCN? And what are some of the things that we plan to do together?
Okay, yeah. So let's start with how I came to walk into this spot.
Okay, let's start there.
So Truzy, I think his name is John.
Yep, John Odom.
So that's his name, John Odom. We worked together at an AV company, AVTS, great company. And so we, for the longest time, just kind of hit it off. I do this and do that. You meet people and we both talked about, I probably was talking about my studio and showing people, like tell people about it, And so he was like, you need to check out this space that been kind of working with a couple of people, awesome people, big space. And that went on for 2 years. Wow. Literally, I invited him to my studio. We were always busy. So finally at the New Year's Christmas party for the company in December, he was like, hey, Raj, like it's been too long, man. Like, are you gonna come? And I was like, dude, you never came. And so he was like, all right, on Monday we're gonna meet up. And so we had a couple of drinks. That was it. 7:00, he calls me and he's like, Roger, it's Monday. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. All right, let me drop off the kids and you know what? Today is gonna be the day, bro.
Yep.
So he was like, yeah. I was like, text me the address. So I walked into here, and as soon as I walked in here, I just fell in love with the space. I mean, again, there was no plans of anything.
Right.
I was just coming to say hi to a friend. literally just trying to say hi to a friend outside of like meeting for work. I want to put an effort. I thought he was a cool guy, and turns out that he's an awesome guy, and he deals with awesome people, and so I was telling him, and so I think that's literally whenever I met you, like we were talking, and then so because of the space and the vision that kind of has been brewing in my mind for a long time, I believe that this year our partnership is going to be a game changer for the community in Houston, because we are going to take the best of the best, literally the best video quality, the best audio quality, the best talent, and the best people to really work harmoniously. And that's a big thing about Houston, man. There's a lot of good studios in Houston, but everything is just so like, I don't want to say like segregated, because that's the wrong word to use.
Like
but
in
like
silos.
It's like if you're not in their little club, then you're not gonna get in. Clicky. and that's how the music scene is.
Yeah.
If you're not with the right clique, you're not gonna get the gigs that you want. You can be shit, but be in the clique and you will get the gigs. And yes, very clicky. And I believe that this is going to bring community. It's going to open awareness. It's going to bring awareness to Houston. It's gonna showcase that we can do it as Houstonians, that we can work together, that we can promote network and community and togetherness in a good, positive way. Because man, the arts are getting lost.
Yes,
and
they are.
And like I mentioned, although there's a lot of great places, you don't see them of like trying to do something like for the community. You don't see them trying to do anything. All they're worried about, which is fine. Business is business.
Yes.
But beyond business, there's more of like being a human, and that's all. That always should come first, and business second, I guess.
Well, we are definitely grateful for Truzy, John, bringing you to the studio. When we first met you, me and my dad, it was we just saw nothing but opportunity, and we've been showing up, having conversations. You did the live stream workshop with us. We love that. So we are looking forward to this opportunity. And for us, community is number one, of course, community cultivation. So we're really looking forward to what this partnership is going to bring to the community. And it's a blessing to have met you, Roger.
Both
we're
ways.
really
Likewise.
excited about that.
Likewise, Jasmine. It's a pleasure. All your team, your father. I mean, I can go all day. The first day that I was talking to your father, I think I may have talked to him a little bit before I talked to you. And I was telling him that his sternness, and this is, I already told my mom this too, and my sisters, that I kind of saw a little bit of my father in your father. And that's badass, because I loved my father. Yes. And I miss him.
Yes,
so
yes.
That's just
shout out to my dad. My dad is my business partner. My dad is my dad and my mom. My whole family is a big support of what I'm trying to do, and continuing on with our legacy. So it is a big thing, and I'm glad that you were able to meet my dad and see that in him. I'm glad you were able to experience that. We're really looking forward to everything.
Like I say, I don't hold back. I see it. I call it how I see it, and I have no shame. I had no shame in telling my dad, and I loved him, and I hugged them and kissed them. I mean, even as an old man,
for sure.
Me as an old man, not here,
Yeah.
But thank you for doing this. Thank you for having me. This is going to be a great 2024. Is going to be awesome.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We ain't ready. They're not ready.
No.
So before we close out, if you can, do you have anything to share to the young Rogers out there? So people that were young, they have family struggles, immigrants, whatever the case may be. What is something that you could say to them to encourage them?
Right. People are going to treat you like crap. And, be strong mentally, be focused mentally. People are going to be your friends who are going to talk trash behind you. You should never let any of that matter, because they're going to be the ones that are going to be knocking at your door when you're there. And I'm not anywhere yet, but people are already trying to come back into my life. And like, what would you as a person allow you to go through that twice? Be smart and know you are who you hang out with. And that is so true. Hang out with people who you benefit from.
Yeah.
Don't hang out with people who are fun and are gonna suck you dry. because those people don't know their limit and they will take as much as they can, dude. I'm like, dude, young Roger.
Right.
Safe. No, for anybody that's out there, man, like, trust yourself, follow your dreams, don't give up, because it will happen.
Yep.
It will happen.
Well, there you have it. I want to thank Roger for coming on another episode of CCGO, where we spotlight small businesses and events and the community. So thanks again, Roger, for coming on this episode, and we will see y'all next time.
It's my pleasure.